But with all that being said, here's the thing, and here's why you can't get rid of C++, you know what I'm saying? When we're talking about real world applications, so the stuff we use every day, you need speed. You need speed. And Python, C++ is faster than Python, put it that way. And I was not expecting this video to blow up like it did, bro. It's literally the most viewed video on my channel, you know what I'm saying? So it's only right if I did a follow-up video. Right now it's December 16th, 2025. And at the beginning of 2025, I dropped a video called Why I'm Learning C++ in 2025. So, well, I did that, and truth be told, it kind of sucked, but in a good way. So I didn't learn by watching 200 tutorial videos. I didn't learn by reading books and like that. I learned how you should be learning, and that's by building projects. Of course, I read some documentation here and there. I learned by building projects, my personal projects, and doing what I do at work as well. So with that being said, I was touching real world applications that use C++ as long as building my own. So I got to see the nitty gritty. I got to experience debugging. I got to experience that whole include header file thing, compilers, things like that, like everything that C++ deals with in a real world scenario, I got to do. And boy, where do I even start? So to be honest, the main pain I have is like C++ is just annoying. It's annoying compared to like Python or JavaScript or these other languages. It's just annoying, and part of the annoyance is the actual setup. Like for you to even get a hello world program running, the setup is kind of crazy. I feel like it's unnecessary, but that's just me. I'm just a junior software engineer. So you're dealing with header files everywhere, a lot of compile errors, warnings. Some warnings won't even let you compile a program, even though the warning might not have or affect the performance or the integrity of the program. You know what I'm saying? And I was working with Visual Studio. Not Visual Studio Code, but Visual Studio, which is the, C++, IE and stuff. So like, how in Python, right? All you gotta do is download Visual Studio Code, download Python, put the system variable stuff, and then you're done. You know what I'm saying? Any other packages that you need, you can just pip install it, and things like that. But that's not the case with C++, bro. It's not the case. You're also dealing with compiler versions. So if you have two different compilers on your computer, you get compiler errors, and you gotta set it up a different way. It's not really plug and play how Python was, or JavaScript, or even HTML, CSS was. Even though that's not like really a programming language, but still code at the end of the day. But with all that being said, here's the thing, and here's why you can't get rid of C++, you know what I'm saying? When we're talking about real world applications, so the stuff we use every day, you need speed. You need speed. And Python, C++ is faster than Python, put it that way. So we're talking like things like audio programming. Since I'm a producer, artist, I deal with a lot of VST plugins, Pro Tools, FL Studio. For you to process, somebody's voice or somebody's singing voice or somebody rapping in real time with effects and compression and EQ and reverb and all that in milliseconds, you're gonna need, and especially auto-tune, you're gonna need C++, bro. Trust me, you're gonna need C++. Things like games, think about game engines, Call of Duty, GTA 6 that's about to come out. You best believe they made some of that stuff in C++. Python is good for prototyping really quick. You can get like a working prototype, working version or demo that you can show a customer, or, just get a proof of concept really fast. With all that being said as well, a few things that I appreciate about C++ is C++ actually forces you to understand what you're coding and what your code is doing. Things like memory, something we don't even think about in Python that much. Lifetimes, performance, and 3. And another thing, C++ made me a better programmer in just about any language, or the languages that I knew, you know what I'm saying? It's the structure of how it is. Like I said in the last point, it just forces you to make better code and better decisions. It helps you to think about, you know, networking stuff. Speed, of course, I keep saying that. What else? Memory, which has a, you know, speed and memory kind of go hand in hand in my opinion. Final thoughts with all that being said is, I'm not completely switching with C++. I'm still going to utilize it. I think you should too. But as far as like dealing with AI, machine learning, data science, things like that, stuff that's hot in today's time, I'll still be using Python and other languages. Another language I'm considering is Rust. You know, I have a coworker that's always talking about Rust and how if you did this in Rust, you know, what we're doing would have been so much easier, so much, you know, more reliable and things like that. So I might give Rust a try. I've been hearing a lot of like hype around that. So hopefully that doesn't give me the same problems as C++ does. But yeah, that's my recap, you know. It's 2026, basically 2026 now, and I'm starting to make new goals and see new things. And I'm kind of moving from a programmer, like a Python software developer or whatever, to more like a full stack engineer, you know what I'm saying? That whole, especially with AI now, it's doable, you know what I'm saying? It's very doable, especially if you already have code knowledge. And you know how like these large applications or things like that work. So next year, I also will be showing y'all what I built in C++. I'm really excited about it. I feel like I kind of blended both worlds, the new with the old, you know what I'm saying? And I'm excited, you know, to show y'all everything. With that being said, y'all, I appreciate y'all watching this video. Let me know what y'all think in the comments. If y'all on the same thing, if y'all feel the same way I feel, if y'all feel differently. You know, don't be afraid to disagree. I appreciate you watching the video, and I'll see y'all in the next one.